Boom. All right. So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for working with me. For those that were like, oh man, it's 8 o'clock, you're not on. Well, here, I am. I am on now. Let me just move things to the other side. Boom. All right. So y'all get to see all of this live. Okay. Anyway, so we're here. We're here. First of all, let me say good morning. This is our first Saturday live with your boy Rickey Jones Jr. So you get to see things uncut, unfiltered, and live, right? And so what I wanted to do on this here Saturday is to answer all the various questions and things that you may have had or that you may have as it pertains to gardening, as it pertains to whether it's raised bed gardening, grow bed gardening, gardening in the ground, if that's something that you do. And obviously that's something that I'm new to doing. But then also even chicken questions, okay? Now, my chicks have not laid eggs, so I'm not at the point where they're laying eggs and having egg problems or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to be upfront and honest with where I am in my egg growing egg journey. But nonetheless, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, and this won't be the last. I definitely look to do this other times and other ways and things like that. So, hey, we're here now, but let me see. Let me make sure I can see the chat. Type chat, blah, 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 live chat. Boom. Okay, so it is visible. But at the end of the day, what I want to do, like I said, is answer the questions that you may have or have had, which I can now go through the comments on the videos and look at them, right? And I'll be able to answer the questions that I have not answered thus far. And so, boom, shakalaka, here we go. If you don't have a live question, cool. But maybe the question that somebody has asked on a previous video is something that you have a question about as well, then cool for that too. I'll answer that question as well. Here we go. First one, love the intro, okay? That's not a question. Boom, I'm gonna like it. We're gonna keep it going. And then somebody asked on the video where I did how to keep raccoons, possums, squirrels away with the spray. They asked, how often do you usually spray? Now, that's a great question. I've only sprayed twice. And when I sprayed the first time, obviously it took care of the problem. I didn't have those raccoons or possums. I think one time it was like raccoons, another time it was possums in the backyard, and they were good to go. Now, like I said, well, I put in the comment section before in that video that when it rained hard, obviously the solution washed away with the rain. And so I did go back and spray just to make sure that what I did do did help with the problem scenario, and I haven't had the problem since, right? And so I haven't sprayed it since that last time, and really I would spray if this is your problem, right? I would spray according to the problem. Like, I mean, just for, unless you just like going outside spraying and you just like spraying stuff and then go for it, right? But if there isn't a problem, then I don't see a need to spray. And so since the problem has ceased, then I ceased spraying, right? And so, that's the whole idea behind what that went about and how that went. So boom, there's that answer to your question. Hopefully, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hopefully you come in contact with this here video. All right, and so the next one said, a mess. Nonetheless, lift the shift. I guess you meant lift the shift. I think they liked it when the perch was lower. So this has to do with the video pertaining to the chicks, which, hey, I'm all good. I'm good for people's opinions. I don't think we all should have the same opinion. Hey, Miss Sylvia, good to see ya, ma'am. And so, boom, shakalaka, here we are. So, I think they like it when the perch was lower. Well, actually, they love it, right? They love what's going on with the new renovation, I'm gonna call it, of the hoop house. Why do I say that? Because I watched them. I look outside, definitely check on them every day, even from the inside. Even if I don't go outside and tend to them physically, I do look at them through the window because I can see them from my house. And they love the way it was changed and how there is, now I'm seeing like multiple ladies on the perch area between the two chairs that I made, and so I'm loving that. And even they're sitting on the chair, some of them, well, they don't really like sit like we do as humans. They squat. I don't know, it's amazing what they do, because when they squat you can't even see their feet, but nonetheless, like, they sit, do what they do, and they enjoy it. And so, hey, to each his own. But the way my ladies operate is they do like the heights in which they are. Now, I will look to put the egg laying boxes, like where the nesting boxes. I will look to put the nesting boxes a little bit lower than the perching beams, bars, and things like that. With the idea, my thought is that, I mean, hey, they're carrying an egg, so maybe they're a little bit heavier, maybe they can't fly as high and all that good stuff. So boom shakalaka. There's my thought. If you have another thought or you have another suggestion, definitely let me know. And you know, we're all here. So I see you, Miss Emma, and I'm a recent subscriber. Haven't had a chance to watch through all of your videos yet. Well, first of all, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the family. I appreciate you very dearly. And then it goes on to say, but I love your energy. Awesome. That's the goal. That's the intent. That's the idea for you to be uplifted and encouraged as you're watching my videos. But it says, I'm going to be inspired to do things around the house that I don't have the skills for. That is good, interesting, and nerve-wracking all at the same time. But nonetheless, hey, I'm glad that you have the inspiration, that you can do it, and that you want to do it, right? And wow, you want to do it, and you want to do it, right? That's pretty cool. So cool. My question is, what is it that you're doing? Do you look to do houseplants or do you look to grow food indoors? Because you can do either. As you can see, boom, hydroponic systems over there. And I actually have some seeds growing right there. You can do those things indoors. So what are you looking to do indoors? Definitely let me know. So I can maybe guide you in your endeavors as you are inspired. And so, looking at the next comment here, hopefully it's a question. You just gave me a good idea about planting beans with some asparagus in my asparagus bed to give back some nitrogen. Awesome, wonderful. Boom shakalaka. That's the goal. That's the idea. All right, and y'all excuse me, my allergies are like doing their own thing right now, so I'm fighting through it because I said I was gonna be here, right? And I largely believe if you say you're gonna do a thing, you should do that thing that you said. But nonetheless, here we are. And then the next question has to do with the raccoons and possums and squirrels. A lot of questions are there. Boom, that's right. Hit that like button. Thank you, Miss Sylvia. You good with me. You know what I'm saying? You might be my co-host. You don't even know it. But the next one goes and says like this. Does it work to keep out the raccoon, the possums, and the skunks? Thanks. Yeah, that's exactly what that spray was for, and that's exactly what that title is titled. Therefore, that's exactly what it does. Now, the skunk part, I don't know. I don't have issues or dilemmas or problems with skunks. Therefore, I can't answer that scenarios. However, it did take care of the raccoon and the possum problem. So, if those are things that you deal with, it's shared. I'm gonna say shared. If that's something that you deal with, definitely spray it up. It will keep away the raccoons and possums. However, the skunks, I can't speak for. I don't want that problem, right? I really don't want that problem. So, boom shakalaka. I'm gonna just like and heart the ones that I answer. So, hey, it is what it is. And so, this person on my video said, I did not tap out. Good job. Awesome. Thank you for staying on, right? And we on there, right? All right, so let's get to the next one. And then it says, hey, Ricky, we love the channel and the energy. Coop looks organized. Many blessings. Oh, thank you so much. Like, I love the positive comments, right? And I'm okay with the negative one too, because I feel like, hey, we're a big world and everybody may not think the same. So, I see Miss Emma. So you say my place is where plants go to die. That's good. That's good. That's good. I say it's good because, you know, people know that I'm into gardening and growing and things like that. And they're like, oh man, you have an awesome green thumb. They're like, but my problem is I have a black thumb. And so that's what they mean by that. But nonetheless, here, you're going to say, my place is where plants go to die, but we recently put pallet seating and a raised garden bed in. So I will be watching everything about veggie gardens very soon. Oh man, that's cool. So that's cool on so many levels because good morning, Jim. That's good on so many levels. Let me make sure I say your name, Emma. Because one, I did do a pallet seating scenario. I was heavy in the pallet game for a little bit. I started to love dealing with wood. I started loving the smell of like cut wood and dealing with wood and seeing what I could build with the wood. And it was even cool that it was pallet wood because it was like re-engineering, repurposing wood that would either one be trash, which I didn't want. But then on the other hand, it was like, man, what could I create out of this block of wood? So anyway, I started with a pallet deck. Oh, cool, yeah. But I do want to tell the story, right? So I started with a pallet deck. I built the pallet deck in the front, and the whole purpose of that pallet deck was my wife was like, "Oh man, you're spending a lot of time outside, and I would love to be able to sit outside with you as you're doing what you're doing, and be able to watch you. I love being around you," is what she was saying. So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll build this pallet deck, and we'll have some seating, and we'll make it happen." So I built the deck, and she probably sat on it a total of one time. One time I did the whole situation one time, and it was cool because we were in the midst of this YouTube thing, and so I recorded it. I was able to help people build theirs, but nonetheless, it didn't work out for us. And so from there, I was like, "Oh man, what can I build next?" So I built the sectional, a whole situation. Like that was cool. It's still in the backyard, broken apart now because we don't use that either. Built the whole deck in the back with like 12 pallets, ridiculous, and the list goes on. So. Now that's cool. That's cool that you all did that, and cool that was able to come together that way. And now we're able to grow together, pun intended, with your raised bed. So that's going to be awesome. Hopefully you set it up in a way that is beneficial for you, and even knowing like directional of where it's located, whether it's north, well where the north, south, east, and west is. Make sure you know that because that will be very helpful in your endeavors and growing, right? And so. Boom, shaka, laka. Cool. So, if again, I said there at least 2 times. I love the deck, but not the bitch. Interesting. You say 2. I remember 1, but at the end of the day, wifey is old, ladies and gentlemen. Wifey is old. At the end of the day, hey, she's gonna keep you straight. So, I beat me. But here we are. So again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. And. I should have had you build a bench too. Wow. I feel like I did that too. I feel like there wasn't a pallet seating scenario that I didn't build. I built a sectional, I built a chair. I did build a bench. It was very long. I built the table. I built 2 tables. I built small chairs for the kids, a small table for the kids. I was that guy. But anyway, again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. That's what I'm here for, right? And if you don't have any questions, I'll just read the questions that I have had on previous videos, and we'll just keep going. So just want to make sure you all knew what was going on for those that just may have tapped the button and like, hey, what's going on with that base? So, boom, Miss Emma. So again, like I said, and then even too, I have done videos where I put soil into raised beds. So, went through that. I call it the 5-step process of having a successful raised bed, right? And so, boom, shakalaka, we in there. If you need those 5, definitely let me know. I don't know how far in the video journey you've been, but we're here. Where are you? I am located in Tampa, Florida, right? Currently in Tampa, Florida, because there is a move on the way for the Jones family, which, I'm going to give you those details when things solidify. However, move is on the way, and I'm excited for it. Boom. All right, so let's go to the next one. And so, Gail said, "Glad to see your smiling face. Best of luck on your project today." Aw, that is far too kind. I love that. I love that. And then make sure you all aren't saying anything. Okay, boom, boom, come back over here. And so my mom is here too, right, on my videos. For those that don't know, my mom is Christine McKee Jones. She comments on all my videos, very supportive, very loving, and I love her dearly. And so she says, "Thanks for showing us how well the ladies are doing. The chicks are growing very well." Boom. So very true. She's the reason why I was doing more like chick videos. Watching from Western Australia? Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't even know the time difference, but it probably worked out very well for you. If like, so you're probably like, maybe like 10 hours ahead? Let me look it up. That's pretty cool. I don't even know what to look up. What time is it for you? Just tell me that, Miss Emma. No, that's cool. That's cool. And I don't have the Australian flag up. However, my wife would always ask like, "What's one place that you would want to go?" And it's always been Australia. It is 8:15 p.m. Oh, that's cool. So we're like a total of 12 hours, 12-hour difference. That's pretty legit. That's cool. So Australia is definitely a place that I do desire to go one day. I don't even know what I would do there, but hopefully I'll get to meet the family of Miss Emma. Let me see your last name. Maybe I didn't want to do that. The Kate family. Maybe that's your last name. Maybe that's your middle name. I don't know. But it turned out to be your last name. Oh, I'm from Baton Rouge. Oh, that's cool. I went to school at LSU, which is, of course, located in Baton Rouge. Go Tigers. I was debating between the LSU shirt and this one, being the college season. Football season is on the way. But obviously, I went with this one because it's long sleeve and helps absorb the sweat. But anyway, all that's cool, Jim. That's cool. There's some great people in Baton Rouge. I love Baton Rouge. I miss Baton Rouge. Definitely look to get back, taking my daughter to a game. I want to take my daughter. She's a LSU fan because of me. But anyway, we're going to get to the questions, right? Maybe we'll do a personal vlog one day. Whoa, that's a word. Whoa, my husband is Thai. That is why it's just Emma Kate. That's your last name. That's impressive. I was trying to say it. Let's say Isra Monkapan. Isra Monkapan. Isra Monkapan. Miss Emma Isra Monkapan. Oh man, he's Thai. That's cool. That's a middle name. My goodness. Just thinking about bubbling that in on a multiple choice scenario. But anyway, Emma Kate works for me, okay? Where are you planting for this fall season? Awesome question. So this fall, what I really want to focus on are collards and kale. Collards and kale. And so you may be wondering, why is that like your focus? One, because I do have some family friends that have a smoothie business, and I tried. And so I have some family friends that have a smoothie business, and one of the things that they do is make smoothies with kale. And so my desire, as you all probably know if you watch my videos with a listening ear, my desire is to be able to give as much as I can, and I want to obviously give to them kale and help them to do what they do well, but give them a nice organic product, because that is one of the only things like leafy wise that they do. And so if it was like other like herbs or something like that that they use in their smoothies, I would grow that too. And so I always try to find things that my family friends or that my friends are doing that I could be a part of and help and give towards. And so kale is one of those things. Outside of that, collards, I love collard greens, and the holiday season is what I'm also preparing for. And so growing those collards now will allow for Thanksgiving and Christmas to be luxurious for the belly with some organic produce. And so those are some things now. My wife, she threw in some stuff, right? She threw in sprouts and microgreens. Now, the funny thing is, I don't know if she's been like, I don't know, in my searches, but I've definitely been searching on how to grow microgreens. I've been looking at the benefits of microgreens. I've been looking at, things like that they offer. And they grow fast, they sprout fast, they do what they do, and you can cut them, and it's just cool to watch it. And you can grow them with grow lights indoors, which I obviously have grow lights. I have like 2 different sets of grow lights, and so I've been looking into it. That may be a thing. However, like I've been also trying to define my growing medium, right? Whether it's going to be raised bed, whether it's going to be aeroponics, whether it's going to be hydroponics, whether it's going to be microgreen growing. They're all different. And, one of my things, so gardeners, y'all know this, possible struggle. When you start growing a thing, and then you start growing another thing, and then you start growing another thing, and it's like, it just doesn't stop. You just grow. But all the growth that you're doing, you also have to be attentive to those things that you're growing. So, hey, the fun thing is, you have to be attentive. And I also have a family. I also have a career. But hey, life is what life is. But those are the 2 main things that I honestly am focusing on growing this fall. I do want to grow beets. I haven't been really successful. Well, I have been successful one time with beets in a 5-gallon bucket, oddly enough. And carrots. I do want beets and carrots as like root vegetables. But if I was to like say The 4 things that come to mind right now, they will be collards, kale, beets, and carrots. Microgreens, we'll give it a go, right? And I say that because over here, I grew some arugula. Who did I grow that arugula for? My lovely wife. However, my lovely wife did not partake in the arugula. So, it's a little interesting that she's asking for microgreens now. She asked for a pallet deck before. Used it twice. I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm saying, and y'all get to be a part of the journey. So, we'll see. We shall see. And so, boom, let me see what else others have said. Right, boom, 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 Australia, boom, said that name, that beautiful Thai name. And then congratulations, you can say it, boom, better. Yes, I planted collards as well. Awesome. Did you plant, Miss Sylvia, did you plant them from seed or did you plant seedlings? And I asked because I've been trying to find seedlings and I haven't found any out in the stores. And then Jim says, just let me know when you're here. Would love to meet you. Awesome. Oh, I definitely will do so, Jim, and maybe we can go eat at, let's see, where do I want to eat? We have a walk-ons here, but it's not really the same. Honestly, it's not the same. So maybe, we'll see. We'll work that out. But that would be luxurious. I definitely want to go to Cane's. I need a box combo with extra toast, hold the coleslaw, and a lemonade. Okay, so I'm just saying, it's a real thing. If you know, you know. All right, so. Definitely, Jim. I will definitely let you know. I love that, and I thank you for that. Yes, that's all. I normally grow for the fall as well. Oh, cool, Ann. Or Annie, or Miss Long, right? How are your collards doing? Let me know. How's that, and where are you growing? Because that determines a lot how your things are growing as well. Sorry, what are collards? I have heard references collard greens on TV. Oh, man, that's cool. Okay, let's do it. So collard greens, what are collard greens? Collard greens are leafy greens. What are leafy greens, right? So you have like kale, you have Swiss chard, and you have other ones, right? Those are like the ones that I grow. But nonetheless, I'm looking around as if I have, let me show you. Let me boom. All right, so I'll sacrifice for the video. So here's like a leafy green kale that's growing in a hydroponic system. Here's like a Swiss chard that has been growing, which my first time I tried it. Woo! It pipes a punch. Woo! A little bitter. But I will say, we're here, right? And so here's the cool thing about growing with hydroponics, right? It's that you can actually eat just like I did from your system. And you may be thinking like, okay, I can do that from the ground as well. Well, it's a little bit different because like you have various mediums, which, all right, here's a confession. I had wrote a book, like a mini book on beginning gardening, right? And it's just in a phase where it needs to be edited. But nonetheless, y'all are getting this information for free. We're here for it. And so we eat bok choy. Yes, okay, cool, boom. So now you have the mindset of what a collard is in a sense where it's like leafy green, right? And so where was I? Hydroponics, right? Boom. It's a way that you can see y'all are getting it live. So all of these thoughts I usually can edit out and like try different things. But nonetheless, here we are. Hydroponics. The difference between and the reason why I can eat it so like freshly from the hydroponic system is the medium. And so the medium is water. And therefore like the water and the nutrients are help and what is there to help grow the plants, and it grows up, boom, nice, clean, and healthy. The difference between like a raised bed is that it's dirt, it's the nutrients, and it's water, right? And so that is a part of like the taste that you get and all of that when you eat your food and your things like that. That's why you have to wash it very thoroughly, because you'll have like little grainy bits and like you'll have that taste, or it like splash up when it rains and you have to make sure it's nice and clean. Well, in these type systems you don't have that problem, right? Because it's not outside. There don't have like those flies and things like that you have to try to wash off. The white flies, y'all know I hate white flies because they're everywhere. But with the hydroponic system, especially if it's indoors, that even adds another layer of protection that this one doesn't have. But nonetheless, we're here. I love hydroponics, and I really want to do aeroponics as well. Let me try this kale. Honestly, oh yeah, that's kale. That's kale. Hail to the kale. And here. Oh yeah, Swiss chard. There's Swiss chard. Swiss chard is definitely bitter, but I can see how that could be good in the right scenario, right? Maybe if it's stir fried. But nonetheless, leafy greens. So then, all that to say, collards. Collard is a leafy green as well. It's usually bigger. It's probably like boom, like that big, a little bit wider. Nice, beautiful, beautiful leaves. And so you eat the leaves of the collard green and you take off the stem, and it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. Very nutritious. Let me even look up the nutritional value of collard greens because that may even help you to choose that as a source of food, right? And it grows very well. You're in Australia, so you probably have like a similar, whatchamacallit, um, what is that called? Like, the growing zones, but you probably have a similar arrangement of life, outdoor life. But nonetheless, here we are. Collard greens, nutritional value. They're an excellent source of vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium. They're a rich source of vitamin K and a good source of iron, vitamin B, and magnesium. And then they also have other beneficial values as well. My glasses are getting foggy because it's getting humid out here. But nonetheless, that is collard greens. And again, like I said, the nutritional value of collards just exponentially puts it on the map as something that you definitely want to be a part of and grow. It's something that you grow, it grows fairly fast. I was about to say very fast, fairly fast. And it'll get you where you need to be. Now, there are various ways that you can cook collard greens. And sometimes you can cook it in a way that it will deplete the nutritional value when you add pork and other things like that to it. But season that bad boy up good, cook it well. I'm sure there's other videos on how to cook collard greens the healthy way, and it'll be everything that you want. And so I do, like I said, love collards. I do love kale. Why? Because of the nutritional value of kale as well. And we're here. And so, boom. Let me see what was said as I did what I did. And so, yes, easy to grow. Boom, easy to grow. Yes, oh nice. I love to see a video of them using some of your kale for a video. It sounds tasty. Green smoothies are super. Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool for us and for them as well. Oh man, thank you. I love that idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tog. That was boom, done. You got it. Let me write that down because I love that and I don't want to lose that thought in the midst of everything and all the thoughts that I have. Do a video with the kale and smoothie. Boom. You're great. You just added another video and I want that. I don't want to buy them. Okay, my dear. Okay, my dear, we'll give a grow to microgreens. So you all see it here. That's just how easy sometimes things are grown in the garden. There's a desire, there's a curiosity, and then there's a growth. Okay, so microgreens are coming to the channel. We'll see. From seed. Okay, cool. Miss Sylvia, that's awesome. See, I had some seeds growing, but then I messed them up. So now I have more. That is a tray of seeds for kale and collards. I actually didn't do a video on that because it was like my second round. And I was like, But I'm excited. Let me see if any sprouted. Let me see. All right, so nothing yet. But I did do some seed starting trays, and I did do like those little pellet scenarios, right, with the cocoa core. And so I'm eager. I'm always doing like competition, so I'm eager to see which one grows fastest, which one grows best, and things like that. And so yeah, y'all will see them go into the ground. You won't see that because I did it already and I messed up before. Anyway, sounds good. Beautiful. Growing in Tennessee. Oh yeah. I think I remember you growing in Tennessee, Miss Sylvia. That's cool. Tennessee. No, that's cool. It's definitely cooler there than it is here. I love Swiss chard. Oh, cool. Share. You want some of this Swiss chard? I'm actually gonna give it to my hands in the back so it won't be wasted. And one of the things that I want to do with the kale is I want to take it from there and grow it outside and see what happens because I want to start some new kale seeds with this whole scenario because I let that grow out of control with the hydroponic system. And so, hey, that's going to be another video, but you all heard it here first. Benefits of being live. All right, so let me see what else did I miss. What did I miss? She said, Miss Annie is growing from seeds. Okay, and I'm growing in Orlando. Awesome! So you're in the same type area, climate, zone in which I'm in. So coolio. Now, do you do YouTube, Annie? Let me know. You know, maybe we can collaborate, do a video together. I don't know. Hey, it could just happen that fast. And if you want to start a YouTube channel, talk to me as well. We eat a lot of bok choy, boom, Chinese broccoli, stir fry greens, boom, 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 boom. And again, you can stir fry kale, you can stir fry collards if you cut it up, and you can probably stir fry Swiss chard. Just know that it has a bitter bite. Hit you right here and then over here. You know what I'm saying? Same time. But then it goes on the same Swiss chard. It's so bitter. You just, yeah, I did. I didn't know. I didn't know, my dear. And here's the funny thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you all obviously wouldn't know just by watching the video. I grow a lot of things that I don't eat. I just grow it because of out of curiosity of what it looks like, curiosity of how it grows, and I'm just like a field looking growing area. And so this is the first time that I did Swiss chard. It won't be the last. It was just the first, okay? Just throwing that out there. And then you said, I want to learn the hydro way. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'll definitely do more videos with the hydroponic system. I want to do one where, like I said, I take the kale, plant it outside, because that may be some people's desires. They may just want to start it here because it will grow faster than it will grow outside, and then they may want to put it outside, or they may want to grow from this to harvest and rock it like that. But there are some things that I did leave out of the whole process that I want to tap back into, such as cleaning the system, because you definitely want to clean it, and just keeping away like your algae and things like that, because that is something that you have to be alert to, because it's light, water, and then like a sponge scenario. And so you don't want those problems. And then I like to saute Swiss chards with bacon sometimes and put it on an omelet. Ooh, an omelet with a Swiss chard. Huh? Wifey, I think that might be a good idea. Have some greens in my omelet. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what she says, right? I like that though. I like that though. Man, you are coming with the heat, okay? Heat, suggestions, all that good stuff. Kale salad, that is good. Man, you get you some kale, chop that thing up, put you some nuts, put some cranberries, maybe some raisins, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know what dressing you use, but the ones that I've had, it was amazing. Amazing. And so, yes, you can do a lot with kale. Let's see what else. Let's see if it's a question. I will be trying the greens this year. Is it time to start growing now? Jim, you are in Baton Rouge, Red Stick State. And so, can you grow them now? Yes, you can. You can grow your collards. You can start growing those bad boys now. If you're growing from seed, definitely you want to plant those bad boys. If you can, do it inside first, and then once they sprout. So here's a fun thing about actually growing from seed that I enjoy doing, but y'all can learn from my mistakes. And so with growing from seed, it's cool once you start them for them to be in darkness, right? It's okay. The seed is going to do what it do, which is sprout. All the seed needs is the right environment for it to sprout. And so the right environment for seeds to sprout is you want it to be a moist area. You don't want it to be saturated with water, but you do want it to be moist. And again, like I said, the darkness is cool as well. A lot of people think you need to put light on seeds. Well, no. Seeds are going to do what the seeds are going to do. They already have it programmed within themselves to grow in the right environment. So again, a moist area, but then also in something, right? And that something can be sand, it can be dirt, it can be cocoa core, it can be peat moss, it can be perlite, truth be told. But again, with those various mediums, you have to keep in mind how often you may have to water it to make sure it stays moist. As it pertains to like scales, you have the dirt, and then the perlite, right? Perlite is going to be the driest most often, but then like your growing dirt, that can stay the moistest the longest. Well, really cocoa core. Yeah, let me think about that. Reorder that. So you have cocoa core, you have peat moss, you have dirt, you have sand, and then you have perlite. And so if you grow in either one of those mediums, just keep that in mind, how often you may have to water to make sure the seed stays moist, for it to sprout, for it to grow, for it to take root. And then once it sprouts, right, once you have a sprout, once you see it come up, What you want to then do is put it under some lighting, and if you use outside as your source of light, cool. If you use growing lights, you definitely want to make sure that the growing light stays about 2 inches, maybe 2 to 3 inches away from the top of the sprout, so that it doesn't grow like leggy. And what does leggy mean? That means like it's like the stem is uberly skinny, and like it's gonna topple over when the wind blows. It's gonna fall, things like that. Like that was my problem. I had my light up too high from the top of the seedling, and so essentially the seedling is growing to the light. If it's too high, it's gonna like and be leggy, then the wind blows and it falls and all that good stuff. So that's the whole scenario with growing from seed. And so Mr. Jim, I probably gave you more information than you asked for, but nonetheless, yes, you can start growing, but then keep those things in mind wherever you are starting your seeds, if growing from seed is what you want to do. It is a fun thing growing from seed. I just love it. It just reminds me of the circle of life, and how within every seed is an opportunity for growth, for a harvest, right? And for prosperity, right? And so I equate that to not only the seed with food, but also the seed of life, the seed of words, the seed of thoughts. Nonetheless, hey, we're one day we'll get into all that fun stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Kel said it, boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Miss Sylvia. Oh, cool. I like that. Jim is shouting out Miss Sylvia. Man, I like that. I like community interaction. So, Miss Sylvia, Jim said hello, and hopefully you're still on to receive that hello. But boom, shakalaka. Let me see. Again, drop your questions here. If I don't see questions here, I will read from the YouTube. Put my seeing binoculars on. But anyway, it says, my first imperfect experiment. This is talking about the 5-gallon wicked bucking system. So that was like a cool experiment that I was doing. So this person here, K8, says, my imperfect experiment. I've grown in buckets before with great success, but watering is a twice a day just to keep up. That's very true. Container plants have perfect fruits with a little maintenance, other than to fertilize more often. On my old bucket type that didn't have a water pocket, I will say this: if not using a fill tube, which I'm not, fill the bucket and water bottles so they don't fill, then dump your soil in. I used a gallon jug with water bottles. I threw in 18 onion bulbs, and I am excited to see how it goes. Next season, I'm going for 10 buckets. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so he was just sharing, right? That's the other thing about comments. Like, when I first started the channel, well, not first started the channel, but as I was like growing in the channel, I was like, oh, I'm gonna comment to everybody's scenario. I'm gonna make sure, boom, boom, boom. And then I started reading people's comments. I'm like, oh man, like they're just sharing, they're just talking. But anyway, boom, we're here. And so I heard people feed the chicks cornbread with turmeric. That's interesting. Do you all have chickens? If you do you all give them cornbread with turmeric? Never heard that before, but hey, we're here for it. Okay, boom, here's some porn advertisement. Let me go ahead and remove that comment. Like from Brazil. Okay, Brazil was watching. Boom, 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 boom. That's cool. I love to definitely hear and to know where people are viewing from. So, boom, boom, boom. We're here for that. And then people was asking me about, I asked a question because I was, somebody messaged me on Instagram, and which, hey, find me on the various social media platforms. You can see the little fog starting to form. So I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook. Obviously, I am on YouTube. But nonetheless, hey, if you do want to talk, if you feel like the comments aren't getting you what you need, definitely find me on Instagram or Facebook, which those look a little bit different than my garden life on YouTube, because I'm more dimensional in real life, as opposed to like locked in, because YouTube is fun. YouTube, they're like, oh, you should find a niche. And so the niche that I tapped into here is gardening. I do have a family channel that my family is a part of, and I also do have a podcast that I talk on, and then my wife and I, we have a purpose channel as well, in which we talk about purpose, we talk about dating, and all those things like that. So those are the various dimensions that my life consists of. But nonetheless, somebody asked me to start gardening classes, and I was like, okay, cool, like That would be cool. But then I was like, hey, let me throw out to the people, to you all, the subscribers and the watchers of my videos, what type things would you like to learn in a gardening class? Why? Because those would be the things that I will put in the gardening class. And so the questions that I have so far, or excuse me, the answers are what different plants and herbs to start and to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Oh, that's cool. What plants and herbs to grow to start and maintain a healthy lifestyle. I love that. That's a whole course in itself, but I love that one. And then the other one was soil mixtures. What soil mixtures can go about? Oh, that's cool. I love both of those questions. Excuse me, both of those answers. I feel like that those right, man. Those are like two solid courses. I love soil mixtures. I've done so many, and I've seen the benefits of the various ones. But again, let me ask you all. Maybe you didn't see the question, but you have an answer. If I was to do, well, let's say this way, when I do gardening classes, gardening courses, which it will be digital that you can watch as your leisure at any time. But with those courses, what information would you like to know? What things would you like or need to have to be able to help in your gardening and or growing career endeavors and things like that? Let me know. What question would you have? What things would you like to know? What things would you like to learn in a gardening course put on by yours truly? And if necessary, I'll bring on people as well. Like, I mean, obviously I love people and I love collaborating and I love working with people and things like that. So definitely let me know. Boom. Gardening class, what would you like to learn? What would you like to know? Ba-boom, 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 boom. And hey, with questions, let me know your questions, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here we go with the pallet deck scenario. The question was, how do you connect 12 pallets together to form a square deck? Because it's easy to connect two pallets that doesn't have pallets around. Would you mind to show how to connect all together? Mr. Larry, hey, great man. Oh man. So I have to do this, right? Because I think it's always good to like give people their roses and their flowers when they're able to hear them, in this case. But the two people that I definitely, well, there's three, my wife, right? Okay, so boom, that's what that is. But then the other two people that are so, like I love when I see their comments are my mother. Of course, like I said, my mom, she comments on all my videos. But then also Mr. Larry, like Mr. Larry has been a part of my YouTube journey, YouTube endeavors for some time now. And so, you know, hey, Mr. Larry. Mr. Larry's in North Carolina. I don't know if you wanted that out. Well, you do. You put that on a comment before on the previous video. But Mr. Larry's in North Carolina, and he emails me different harvests that he has, which they have been phenomenal here lately. He grows a lot of peppers and beans and tomatoes and things like that. And so, hey, Mr. Larry, shouts out to you. I love you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for continuing to give me positive words, for showing love, as well as for watching my videos and content. And I appreciate you, sir. You give me great suggestions, great ideas, and you help motivate me to keep going, right? Because there are some times where I'm like, man, should I be doing these videos still, or am I helping people, or am I encouraging people? And seeing Mr. Larry's, not only his emails of his harvests, but also his comments gives me that satisfaction that I should keep going. So again, that moment was for you, Mr. Larry, because you are do it. All right, so I have Miss Emma Kate. And so, boom, talking about natural pest control and best plants to grow together to reduce bugs. I love that. Companion planting, I'm all about that. Which, in essence, is what you are talking about when you grow plants together. Not only to help benefit them, but then to help to control pests. I love that. Definitely will have something for that specifically. Let me make sure I write that down because that is a great one. Make sure I write down both of them because there was two things, natural pest control, as well as you said to companion plants, boom, 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 to reduce bugs. Boom. That is on the way. Man, y'all are awesome. And so what did you say, Mr. Larry? Recover from COVID. Oh, wow. Well, that's a beautiful thing, right? You're recovering from COVID. Not that COVID took you down, took you out, or, you know, changed your life. for the bad. But nonetheless, my prayers are with you, Mr. Larry. I definitely give a prayer for you at the end of this here video because I think prayer changes things. And so, more power to you, Mr. Larry. And the beautiful thing is, you do have a garden. You do have, if you do want to get outside, man, like that's something that you can do just to keep moving, keep going, get you some of that vitamin D, which is a part of what the sun gives. And we'll be praying for you. Very much so. And so the next question that I have is, how do you connect 12 pallet woods together, or 12 pallets together? So the fun thing is, of course, Mr. Larry, of course. The fun thing is, I did a video on how I connected pallets together in general, and so it would just grow. You would use that same concept that I did with showing you how to do 2, with 12, with 8, with 24, right? It doesn't matter the number, the concept is still the same. And so the fun thing about having pallets and pallet wood and pallet decks and things like that is that you stack them. It's like Lego pieces in a sense, but you don't like stack them on each other. You can lay them side by side. I'll do it this way so you can see my hand. So if you have one pallet wood piece together, and then you have another pallet together, yeah, let me just do pallet, because pallets is like the whole square scenario, right, with the lines and everything. So you have one pallet, you have another pallet. You then put a piece of wood, right? You can even use a piece of pallet wood that's like the little line part. Put it in between the two, drill. That's going to keep those intact, right? And as you keep adding more, you keep putting that piece of wood between one pallet and another pallet. And then once you add another one to this other side, you would then go back under, right, and then attach those together that way, but then you would do the other side the same. And so it's all about attachment. I think that's the key part that you should think about and think through as you are doing your pallet situation. It's all about attachment, and so that's how you attach. You don't want to do like a whole 2x4, because that's going to create a 2-inch gap, right? And so doing a slender piece of wood is going to, do it in a way that it won't be gappy, but they will be connected. And I think that's ultimately what you want to do. So I did it that way. It worked well. And again, you may have to go under, which I did on my pallet deck video. You may have to go under, or you will have to go under to connect the new ones to the existing line. The new line to the existing line go under, but for the new lines, you just stay on the side, right? Hopefully that answered your question. More information on growing beans, because I really want to grow them, but I keep failing. Gotcha, Emily. No problem. I love beans. Now, I will say, I'll just even speak now, but of course more information will follow. But growing beans is fairly easy, right? There's 2 different types of beans. You can have pole beans, or you can have bush beans, okay? What are the differences? Bush beans are beans that grow in a confined area that has the shape of a bush, right? Bush beans, confined area, just think of that. Bush beans, confined area. Then you have pole beans. Pole beans are the beans that grow with the need of a trellis or something. Why? Because pole beans, they're gonna like vine. Pole beans, vining beans, they're gonna try to like grow, they're gonna vine, they're gonna find their way around the garden, okay? And trellis is a way that you can help control them in their growing and also support them in their growing, because that's what pole beans needs. They need control and they need support. Or you can use bamboo stakes and things like that. I've seen people like put them in the form of a teepee and just like circle the pole bean plant around the teepee scenario. There's that. People have grown them on like sides where like a wall is. You can grow them up a wall. But nonetheless, that's how they grow, and they're pretty easy to grow. I don't know what challenges you're facing. I really haven't had any pest problems with them. The only problems I've had with them is lack of watering, truth be told. So I'm curious, who was that? Emily, what problems have you had in the failing attempt of growing your beans? And it could be your medium, right? Your medium being your soil. What are you growing in? Soil, cocoa coir, peat moss, sand, perlite. What are you growing in? Because that also will speak to maybe the challenges that you're having. Because each growing medium does present its own challenge, as they also do have their own benefits. So definitely keep that in mind. I think when I do the colors, I'm gonna like give the book away, because I did want to do an ebook just to keep everything nice and green. But the more I think about it, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, The next one is with a Brussels sprouts. I did a Brussels sprout video, and then they said that Brussels sprouts often suffer from really heavy soils that results in disease and dampening of issues during wet years. Amending soil with additives and perlite to keep soil moisture free really helps prevent root rot. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, man, I grew some Brussels sprouts, not by choice. You're welcome, Miss Emily, or Emmy. It's Emmy. I said Emily, but it's Emmy. My problem. My bad. Miss Emmy, okay? But nonetheless, obviously I take names seriously. But anyway, I grew some Brussels sprouts before, and one time I grew, I didn't even know it was Brussels sprouts. I thought it was collard greens. So I was like, man, what is this thick thing? And again, Brussels sprouts were one of those things that I grew out of pure curiosity as to how they grow. And they grow crazy. Like, it's not, I don't know what you may think of when you see food in a grocery store, but as a gardener, and as I'm sure you all are gardeners because you're watching this video, I'm sure you maybe are like me. When you're going through the grocery store, you see things like, man, how did this grow? Like, how did this get here? Or how long has this been here? Or what's the process between it growing and it being here? And you know, that's what then leads me to say, I'm growing myself because I know from harvest to table is just that fast. But anyway, in it all, Brussels sprouts, they grow crazy. Like, it's a trunk, and then like the little sprouts are along the trunk, and there also are leaves that are part of the whole scenario that you can eat the leaf as well, like stir fry, like Miss Kate. But yeah, Brussels sprouts, good thing, good stuff. Okay, so next one is, they said they love my excitement. Awesome. Obviously I'm kind of like this when I wake up, and the funny thing is my kids are as well. Well, one of them. Well, both of them can be. One of them, my son, he's a little interesting. He's the wild card. We call him the wild card of the family. He's the youngest. However, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm always like, "Hey, good morning, everybody!" And one of the things that I do with my kids, I'm like, "Good morning, good morning," and I say it for them to repeat it. But then my son, he's always like, you never know. And so sometimes he's like, hey, good morning, daddy. Yeah. Sometimes he's like, I'm cold. But anyway, neither here nor there. We got there because of the excitement. So yes, I'm like this all the time. Even through this little nasal situation that I have going on, which I don't know what this is. Anyway, God has it. Thanks for the ideas. Keep them coming. Of course, planting seeds. Thank you for that motivation. And then also, they commented on my pallet deck video. Woo! Thanks for sharing your life. Just found this channel. Grateful that they did. Oh, awesome. Thank you for those kind words. Great always. Let me try to find a question, because I'm finding a lot of encouragement, which I love encouragement. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for that as well. But I definitely want to respect the intent for this video, which is to answer questions. So again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Gardening with Eve, what's up? Good morning to you as well. This is a fun sister that I do gardening live with. She was a part of my group when I had a group, but then also as well, I see that she has Instagram. So definitely, Eve, drop your Instagram, because I definitely love when people get to connect with other people that garden as well. And so definitely drop your Instagram. And I think, yeah, you have chicks as well. So, you know, hey, you could be a part of her journey as you're a part of my journey. And either other people as well. Don't feel like I'm just calling them out and you can do it too. If you have content on gardening or chicks or even pallet videos, because some people find me by way of that, definitely drop those handles, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, be it YouTube, in the comment section, so that we can all learn and grow from each other. Because, why do I say that? Because I do a thing my way, but you may do a thing in a way that's beneficial to others as well as myself. And so I don't believe in isolating, you know what I'm saying, people. Like, no, like, let's all learn and grow from each other. And so, Miss Eve, if you would, drop your Instagram, because I know that bad boy is hot. And shouts out to your husband as well. I know that he does things for you to help encourage and motivate you to do what you do. So boom, drop those. And then somebody says you could definitely get their 50K subs. Oh man, that's awesome. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I have lofty goals, and so yes, one of my goals is for the end of 2022 to be at 50,000 subscribers. Okay, and so that's what I put out there, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And so here we are with another pallet video. They said after sweating and swearing over a pallet and just got just one board off without breaking it, I'm gonna get me one of those, a hammer and pry bar. Just it is not working. What did they put on those pallets? A dozen elephants. I had been 20. Oh man, I get it. I get it. I get it. Boom, boom, boom. Gardening with Eve. That's her Instagram. And so with that video, he's talking about how to like take away your pallets faster, which again, I was in that pallet world heavy. And hammer and crowbar is what they suggest, but that takes a long time, and usually it doesn't work out well, because when you like take the pallets apart, they could break, they could chip, they could snap, and then they can either make or break what you're trying to do, because you know, all wood is good. So I use a reciprocal saw. Reciprocal saw, go down the side, cut those nails, essentially is what you're doing. You cut in the nails because the wood is not like, it's not attached, it's stapled there with wood, with nails. And so the reciprocal saw cuts that, makes it faster, easier, and cleaner, okay? But I will say, for those that may be like, oh man, I will do that, make sure your blade, the reciprocating saw, there's a blade that like shoots out like that, make sure that blade is specifically for cutting metal, okay? Because there are blades that cut wood, there are blades that cut metal. So making sure that your wood or your blade cuts metal is gonna make sure that works well. Which, if you don't know, the blades that cut metal are a lot closer together. So like, you know, like there's the teeth of the blade. They're a lot closer than the ones that cut wood. The wood ones have like gaps in between the triangles, okay? So that's how you can tell if you're just like looking at it for the first time. That's how you can tell the difference, okay? Boom, grow and prosper from there. All right, so we're coming along the end. Like I said, I was going to do this for an hour, so I want to make sure I get anything that you may want to say at the end. How are your chicks? How are they doing in this heat? Miss Eve, they're doing well, actually. They are eating so much, okay? And how they doing in this heat? Well, you know, with the hoop house that I did like 80% shaded, 20% exposed. And so they are very shaded. I go in there kind of often. Probably about 2 times a week, and it's not as hot under there as it is outside, so thank God for that forethought. But then also watering, I do have I just built a whole water apparatus for them that's been working well thus far, so definitely making sure that's a part of what you do, so to make sure they need and they have what they need and they have what they need. I said that twice, but I guess they need it. Nonetheless, in it all, they have been doing well. I've been doing videos on them as well, just like updating. And I have thinking if I showed, yes, I did show that video on the new food that I have for them as well, because they are about to start laying eggs next month. Next month, they are about to start laying eggs. And so they will be returning, giving me some returns on my money being spent on them, okay? And so I love, like, I'm in different groups as well, but one of the groups, they were like, I have my first $1,000 egg. I just laughed. Why? Because like all the costs of different things that it has gone into, that one egg, I get it. That's a $1,000 egg. And my first egg will be, I don't want to say the number because I'm sure my wife is watching, but nonetheless, it will be a 4-digit egg because that's just what it costs to start it off. But nonetheless, in it all, hopefully I said something that was beneficial to you. I answered a question that you had. I did answer all the questions that I did see. If you have any more, we'll figure out a frequency of how often we could do these videos, how we could do these lives, and we'll go from there. We'll grow from there. We'll have fun with that, you know. Yes, time for eggs. Oh my gosh, definitely. And so I definitely want to end in a prayer for my brother, Mr. Larry, and his family, the Stone family. And so I'm going to pray, right? I thank you, Lord God, for Larry and all that he is. I thank you that his strength comes back. I thank you that COVID is just a season in his life. It will come to pass. And I thank you that it did not take him out. I thank you that he is stronger because of it. He is more aware because of it. And he has everything he needs around him to allow for him to recover, come out stronger, and be the better not because of COVID, but because of the time to just sit, to recuperate, to better himself, and to be where he needs to be and do what he needs to do for his body, for his family, and all that good stuff. And I thank you that anybody that may come in contact with COVID and their bodies, I thank you that they heal, and that they're well, and that they're strong, and that they are the better on the back end of it, Lord God. Pray this prayer in Jesus' name, amen. So, with that thing being said, with those things being shared, I love you, Larry, Mr. Larry, Mr. Stone, and the Stone family, as well as you others as well, especially my family in the down under of Australia. It is now 9:01. If it's Friday here, I'm assuming it is Saturday there, because obviously you would be ahead, right? No, it will be Friday. It's Friday. It's just Friday p.m. What was I thinking? But anyway, thank you for rocking with me, Miss Kate, on this evening. And yeah, or hey, what I would love if you did is let me know what type frequency that you all would like these Saturday Q&As. And so 2 questions. What is the frequency you would like these to be in, these Saturday Q&As? And if you had any questions, oh, it's Saturday night. I like that. I'm watching from the future. Oh, that's cool. That's hilarious. I love that. I really do. And so, what frequency would you want these Q&As to be in? And when I do upload a gardening course, what information would you like to receive in those courses? So, with those being said, with those things being shared, I love you all. I appreciate you all, as I say on the end of all our videos. And I don't have to ask you to subscribe because I believe that you already are. But nonetheless, I love you. I appreciate you all. And remember that you never have to garden alone, because you can always garden with me. So next time, peace. Love you all. I can't do the because boom, I have to end it with the click of a button. Peace.